Every single stock seems to be red, every single crypto seems to be red today, and the entire stock market seems to be red today. Today we're going to try to make sense of what is happening exactly. We're going to try to apply the FUFITA strategies of fundamental analysis, financial analysis, and technical analysis to see what the hell is actually going on right now in the stock market and in the crypto market. I actually took a little bit of profits on my Bitcoin holdings and also on my Tesla and my Upwork positions, which I'm going to be talking about a little bit later on. So let's jump right into it. As we can see, the entire stock market seems to be red. The S&P 500 completely red, 1.5% down. Dow Jones 1.5% down too. Nasdaq is 2% down. We even see the European markets basically down as well, rebounding a little bit right now. We do see, of course, gold and silver up a little bit as safe haven assets. If we go to our portfolio, the growth portfolio, because mainly I am investing in growth stocks, we can see that everything is deep in the red. And also if we go to crypto, we can see an entire list of red numbers over here. I actually took profits on a little bit of my Bitcoin holdings, my Tesla holdings, and my Upwork holdings. I took, I think, 0.025 Bitcoin off of my position of about 1 Bitcoin entirely. So yeah, just a little bit of cash. I want to increase my cash position a little bit. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that later on. And I also took 12.5% off of my Tesla position and my Upwork position. But also for that, I'm going to be talking about that later on as well, why I did that exactly. And as always, I shared these alerts with my Discord premium members where I mention all my research, I share all my research, and I share my alerts for when I try or when I actually buy and when I actually sell stocks and crypto. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Nesami.com/Discord. One of the main pieces of news, of course, has to do with the company Evergrande in China. This is a real estate company, and currently they have a lot of debt, which they seem unable to pay off. So right now they have $300 billion of liabilities, $300 billion of debt, and there are quite a lot of banks and non-banking institutions involved. 130 banks and over 120 non-banking institutions. That is quite insane. For the debt, they were given a deadline, I believe, today to pay back the debt, or at least a portion of the debt. So Evergrande, a company, is actually selling part of their properties to be able to pay a portion of that debt. It seems like the Chinese government is also trying to step in. They're sending financial experts to help out with this entire situation. And who knows, maybe at some point they're going to nationalize the company. Maybe they're going to take over the company. Now, the thing is, a lot of people are a little bit worried that this is going to turn out to be another Lehman Brothers moment back in when we had the crisis in '08, for example. Because if this company, if Evergrande is going to become bankrupt, if it's going to go bankrupt, then it could be the case that all of those banks we have just been talking about are going to go bankrupt as well, because they're just going to lose a lot of money, and all those other institutions out there as well. And this could also have an effect on the real estate market in general, not only in China, but also in the global markets. So that is also why we see, if we go, for example, to the chart of this company Evergrande, let's actually go to 333. It's a pretty interesting and easy number to understand, to remember, of course. If we go to the daily chart and we zoom out a little bit, we can see that from October 2017, this stock has just been on an absolute meltdown to the downside, of course. More than 90%, 92.6% has been shaven off in the last couple of 4 years, more or less, and the decrease has been increasingly, that's a difficult word, rapid to the downside. So that is quite insane. We also saw a lot of other Chinese stocks go down a lot as well. I believe a few stocks, if we go to this Twitter feed over here, some companies from the Hong Kong exchange, some property developers, for example, dropped 87% in one day before it actually was halted. And I believe there was another company as well, this one over here, Guangzhou Real R&F Properties, not entirely sure what company that is, but yeah, also a properties company. This one is also basically collapsing. So quite insane to see. And let's see if this is actually going to trickle down into the global stock markets, as it seems to be doing right now. Now, of course, because of all this FUD, all of this fear, uncertainty, doubt, usually that is what triggers the markets to go down. Another potential explanation for all of this red in the markets is the FOMC meeting that is going to take place on Wednesday. They, of course, are hopefully going to talk a little bit more about the tapering of their bond purchases. Because the thing is, with these bond purchases, what the Federal Reserve in the United States is doing is basically buying a lot of bonds and basically inflowing or like pushing a lot of cash in the markets. So yeah, the stock markets are going to continue to go up. Now it seems to be that they are going to taper these bond purchases, basically meaning that they're going to buy less bond purchases than they have been doing in the past. Now, they don't know exactly when this is going to happen, so on the meeting on Wednesday, they are hopefully going to tell a little bit more about the actual timeline of the tapering of these bond purchases. But many experts are actually believing that this could be postponed into like November or something like that, when the moment is going to be when they're going to start taper these bond purchases. And some analysts are also wondering if we're going to see a period of stagflation, because it seems to be that a stagflation rocked the economy before, and this article is wondering, is it going to come back? Stagflation is a period of high inflation combined with stagnant economic growth. So basically the economic growth is not as great anymore as it has been in the past. Now, a lot of people are wondering if we're going to see stagflation in the next couple of years, and that could also be one of the reasons for which the markets are down right now. And we also had this front page news from the Bloomberg, of course, that Morgan Stanley right now is seeing a growing risk of a 20% drop in the S&P 500. I personally have also been talking about like a 15% drop in the S&P 500. That is also combined with some technical analysis, which we're going to do in just a second. And with my Discord Premium members, I share some like weekly videos about the technical analysis for the entire stock market, for all of my holdings, for all of my crypto as well. And during those videos, I actually mentioned that we could definitely see a 15% drop in the S&P 500. Let's actually check out in the technical analysis why that could be the case. Well, if we look at the chart of SPY, which is the ETF for the S&P 500, we can see a few things happening over here, and we're mainly going to talk about the 55 exponential moving average. The 55 EMA, the 55 exponential moving average, is this white line over here, and it basically shows you the average price of the last 55 periods, in this case the last 55 days. Now, as you can see, we have been on an absolute tear for the S&P 500 basically since May 2020, more or less. We can see that we have just basically gone up. We did see a few pullbacks, for example, over here. In September 2020, we had a 10% decline over here. We saw a decline over here in October 2020. And basically after October 2020, starting from November 2020, we just went on an absolute tear with no major pullbacks at all. And if we zoom in a little bit, we can see that the price action since November 2020 has basically stayed above this white line over here, which is the 55 exponential moving average. We can see that it bounces off of this line a few times over here, for example, over here, here. So it definitely is a very important line to look at, and it is being used as support quite often. But now, today, we actually see a major candlestick below that 55 EMA, which would be the first time since November 2020 that is actually going to happen. When we go to Bitcoin, and that is of course the most important cryptocurrency to be looking at, we also see something going on with that 55 exponential moving average. We can see, for example, that also here it was used quite a lot as support, then it broke down, it started to trade below the 55 EMA, but if we zoom into this price action, basically starting from July this year, 2021, we can see that it has been trading above that white line, above that 55 EMA. It bounced off of this line over here in August 2021 and also over here in September 2021. But today it also seems that we are very likely going to close a daily candlestick below that 55 exponential moving average. So let's see if this is also going to lead to a larger pullback, just like we saw over here between more or less May 2021 and July 2021. And by the way, if you want to learn more about these things, about technical analysis, how to analyze charts, for example, for the S&P 500, for Bitcoin, definitely check out my program on nesami.com/TA to learn exactly how to trade or how to buy and sell stocks and crypto without emotions. So as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I took a little bit of profits on my Bitcoin position. For example, I took off 0.025 Bitcoin from my entire holding, and I might take off another 0.025 Bitcoin if we we are actually going to close a daily candlestick below that 55 EMA, below that white line we have just been taking a look at. And as I mentioned also, I sold about 12.5% of my Tesla position and my Upwork position. And you might wonder why. Well, I wanted to increase my cash position a little bit. I'm trying to I'm trying to buy a car right now at the moment. So the thing is, I also want to invest more and more in my business, so in Nesami, to grow this as a business. And the thing is, if I'm going to invest more in my business, if I'm going to buy a car, then I don't have my 6-month financial buffer anymore. So that is why I'm increasing currently my cash position at this moment. Now, do keep in mind, if you want to try to time the market to like buy and sell at the right moment, it can definitely be done. It is very risky. You can definitely use a FUFITA strategy, the fundamental financial technical analysis, to determine if the stock market or if a certain crypto or if a certain stock is likely going to go down or not, but it's never guaranteed, right? Because the thing is, if something, or if like good news occurs, then everything can rebound very, very quickly. So if you don't want to spend a lot of time on FUFITA, on financial, fundamental, and technical analysis, just like use a method like dollar cost averaging. Just buy every single month, for example, or every single week to basically dollar cost average into a position instead of trying to time the market, because it is very risky indeed. So as we can see, there's a lot of FUD going on right now, a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt with regards to the Evergrande crisis, with regards to the FOMC meeting, with regards to stagflation. Everything seems to be building up right now, and also the charts aren't really looking pretty at this very moment. So my question to you is actually, what are you doing at this moment? Are you actually selling out of positions? Are you buying the dip? What are you doing? Let me know in the comments. And if you're looking for a buy the dip opportunity, maybe check out ChargePoint. I made a video right over here. You can find it in the corner over here. I made it last Friday when I talked about the fundamentals, the financials, and the technical analysis for this company. And if you have already seen that, check out my mission right over here, where you can see what my mission is and what my roadmap is to achieve that mission. And with that being said, thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.